Hey guys, I know I've not been very frequent on my reviews, but I've been posting a lot of all my reviews on my website. I have not been doing a lot for my YouTube channel, unfortunately. I apologize. Life's been getting in the way, but I'm here to basically review Joker, and I know a lot of people are talking about this film, but I have so much to say, and I just want to tell you guys what my thoughts on the film were. I think it's incredible. I know it's incredibly decisive between the critics and the fans right now because Rotten Tomatoes at the moment, last time I checked, it was at 68%, which is incredibly low. And the audience, I think, is like 93%. And so I can see why the film is being very picked apart by critics. I can't understand why it's being picked apart so harshly because I've read some of the reviews and they say that the film's talked about nothing and it's very violent and it's basically non-existent within plot wise, which I strongly disagree because this film is incredibly different, and that's what I like about it. It's very much like Logan, where Logan was entirely different than what you would see in your average comic book film, but this is completely different. This transcends the comic book genre massively in ways that I've never seen before. When I saw a screening of this film on the weekend, I sat in my seat for about 3 minutes just in shock from what I just watched. Now, the most thing is, people are concerned about the violence in this movie. There was violence, yes, but I can tell you this: there's more violence in Deadpool than there is in this movie. There's When there is violence, yes, it's very intense, it's very graphic, and it's very bloody. But the most disturbing elements of the story don't come from the violence. They come from the stuff that's not violent. It's the smaller moments that are most disturbing to me. It's the heartbreak and the agony that Joaquin brings to this performance. That is incredible. He, I don't know about. I would love to see him win the Oscar for this, and I really, really do hope he gets a nomination for this performance. He's incredible, and I hope people don't compare him to Heath Ledger. I know a lot of people have been, and it's very easy to because we have had all these actors portray this specific character. But Heath Ledger brought something that no one else will ever duplicate, ever. That's a performance that's iconic, and I rank as one of the best performances put to film. It was Heath Ledger's performance in that film. Joaquin is as well as fantastic. He's not in the same ballpark as Heath because they're very different portrayals. But Joaquin brings a heartache and agony to this character because I didn't want to sympathize with this character because I know that he's not a very good person. Now, what Todd Phillips does and Joaquin brings to the film is fantastic because they're able to show the sadness in the first half and the slow descent into the reasoning why he is who he is by the end of the film. And it's heartbreaking to watch because it felt so realistic in its depiction. And I said in my written review that this film gives one of the most accurate, realistic, and heartbreaking portrayals of mental illness. Because this film, essentially, if you strip away the whole comic book character name, like if you take away that his name is Joker and you change some things around and the connections to the Batman universe, it's just about a guy with mental illness. And it still is. And there's a lot of things touched upon about mental illness and how we have to have better support financially and emotionally for people with mental illness and getting them the right care that they deserve and need, as well as it touches upon topics like gun control, and it talks about a lot of things. It talks about loneliness, depression, and Todd Phillips ferociously talks about this because it's not an easy topic for all those things that are incredibly relevant today. And I think that's what's scaring some people is they don't want to talk about it. They don't want to talk about these not issues, but these discussions that need to be had. And what I love about this film is that it sparks conversation. I was talking about this film for 2 hours after I saw it and just picking apart the film because it's such a thought-provoking piece. It is a all-around definite film that makes you think and rethink yourself and your own it makes you rethink yourself and what you define what is how you treat people. It is disturbing, it is unnerving, it's unsettling, and I nearly cried in some parts of the film because it's just brutally honest of how someone who would be beaten down by society, how someone who would have a mental illness could potentially turn in a very negative way. And this film is definitely one of my favorite films I've seen of the year. Hands down, top five, as of now, top five. And I think this film is brilliant. It's brilliantly composed as well. The music is chilling. It has some of the most spine tingling sounds you'll hear from a film score of the year. It fit the tone of the film perfectly. The film also gives one of the best origin stories for not just for any superhero character ever. Well, he's not a superhero, but any comic book character ever. And it's so vastly different than what you're used to seeing. That's what makes it so appealing. And I can't wait to watch this again in theaters. I saw it in IMAX. I definitely recommend everybody see this on the biggest screen possible because it definitely deserves that. The biggest sound system, because that's another great thing I loved about it, is the cinematography is insane. It is so well shot. The film is well shot. It is well directed. It is well acted, as well as Walken's great performance at hand. You also have great supporting work too. You have Zazie Beetz giving a great supporting role. You have Frances Conroy, who's fantastic, and even Robert De Niro, who plays a talk show host, which mirrors very much in the same vein as Rupert Pumpkin from the King Comedy. And a lot of people have been talking about the similarities between Taxi Driver and King Comedy. They are definitely there. If you have seen the films, they do kind of mirror each other. I wouldn't say in a way that it feels like it's plagiarism or copying the exact same thing that Scorsese put in those two films, but it's definitely paying homage in certain senses to those two films very strongly. Within tone and within some actual moments within the film, they do go out of the way to kind of pay homage. It made me smile. I like that. And what I also like about this film is it feels like it could be released in the 80s. It felt, the aesthetic of it felt so authentic and true to its time. And this was just a breathtaking film all in all. It was a perfect showcase performance by Joaquin, who deserves all the accolades coming to him. Todd Phillips, who shows that he can do also a hard-hitting, thought-provoking, dramatic piece. Even though I even questioned if he would be able to do it, because I'm like the guy from The Hangover. I don't know about that, but then I saw War Dogs, and I'm like, okay, this guy can actually delve into other elements of stylistic films, and he does, and he gives one of the best director films of the year. Yes, it's part to the comic book world, but it's just a greatly directed film in general. And out of all the superhero films I've seen this year, I would say that this is probably next to Endgame. My favorite. Actually, that's tough. Yeah, as of now, this is the best superhero film I've seen this year. Or comic book film, I should say, sorry. And this is a film that will be talked about for years. It'll be dissected. I guarantee it'll be talked about in films classes. It is a film that will definitely be talked about. We'll need multiple viewings to just digest everything that Todd Phillips, the director, is trying to get the audience to pick up on, and just out of pure enjoyment. Now, this isn't a film I would watch many, many times, even though I loved it so much, because the film is not exactly the happiest film. It is a very emotionally draining film, but I would definitely rewatch it, and when it comes out on home release on Blu-ray, I'm definitely getting that film and adding it to my collection because it's a fantastic film, and Joker is one of the most hard-hitting, realistic films I've seen in a very long time that just shook me to my core, and I thought I would just tell you guys my thoughts on the film. I loved every minute of it. I know probably a lot of you have seen the film already, and have probably gone back multiple times already to even see the film for a second, third, or even fourth time. And I hope you guys enjoyed the film. I loved it. Leave your thoughts down below in the comment section. I would love to hear your thoughts on the film, what your favorite scene was, what you liked about Joaquin's performance, what was your favorite moment in the film, all of that. Just let me know in the comment section. This is a film that I want to know everyone's input on because it's a very, very conversationalist kind of film. And it's a film that I will be talking about a lot. I don't know when, but I will definitely, when the film comes out and I can watch it again and I can pick it apart shot by shot, I'll definitely be doing a discussion about, a long discussion about my thoughts on this film. This is my short review on the film because we all know I can talk for long periods of time, but I want to try to give a short and sweet review, which is what I'm doing now. And yeah, so I enjoy this film. It's I would rate it. I'd give it a 8.8 out of 10. It is one of the best films of the year, hands down, and a film that I would watch again and again. It is an all around fantastic film that transcends the comic book genre in ways that Logan did as well back in 2017. Now, that is my review on Joker. What are your guys' thoughts on the film? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Did you think there were some things that could have been in it that weren't in it? Or there are some things that were in it that pleasantly surprised you? Leave your comments and thoughts in the comment section below and let me know. And I will be reviewing more film reviews, hopefully more frequently. I'm sorry for the delay again, guys, but that is my review, and I'll be seeing you guys next time.